On the 27th of February 2020, the first case of the new and deadly coronavirus disease in Nigeria was confirmed in Lagos. It's been 2 months since then, and the spread of the disease has grown into the biggest test of the competence of Lagos State Governor Mr. Sanwo Olu. When the first case was reported, Sanwo Olu was still working hard to convince highly eager Lagosians that he had the solutions to existing problems in the state, which, when fixed, will take the state to greater heights. Without doubt, Sanwo Olu knows that his approach in managing the deadly pandemic will either provide an arrow in the hands of anxious Lagosians or prove his mettle as a desirable and competent leader. So far, he has been courageous in the battle against the COVID-19. Leading from the front, he has employed the full retinue of resources at his disposal towards managing and containing the spread of the disease. And this action has not gone unnoticed. It has swiftly shifted public opinion in his favor, with millions of people praising him for providing excellent leadership in the management of the pandemic. While the governor's response to the coronavirus crisis is multifaceted, here are the 5 most significant ways the governor is fighting the disease. Early planning. Nothing beats good proactive preparation in life. According to reports, Sanwo Olu had been adequately briefed by his Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, since January 2020 that there was an outbreak of a novel coronavirus in China in December 2019, which could potentially spread to different places across the world.
Able to bring all up-to-date information right into this room on a day-to-day basis so that we're following global benchmark activity. We're drawing on resources, both intellectual, financial, and kind, and bringing that to your attention on a day-to-day basis.
Immediately, the governor deployed required human and material resources to put in place against all eventualities.
It's a virus that we haven't seen before, and it's something that all of us are learning as we go along.
So when the index case of coronavirus was identified in the state government was able to move the individual to the isolation center that was already fully equipped with medical facilities to attend to such cases and curtail the rapid spread of the disease in Lagos State. Effective communication. Since the virus was identified in Lagos State, Sanwo Olu has been holding regular press conferences to personally inform the residents of Lagos of the efforts of the state government in curtailing the pandemic. Also, the state government has consistently shared information around security and welfare of the citizens across all available means of modern communication.
We will most certainly contain and defeat this virus. We will emerge stronger and more determined to transform the life of our citizens in Lagos and by extension our country Nigeria.
Similarly, the governor also ensured that his Commissioner for Health is always available to the public to share specialist insights on the coronavirus in the state.
We're hoping to run at least 2,000 to 3,000 tests in the coming week as we embark on the active case search in the community. We already know that the virus is circulating in community, and the more we look for it, the more we'll find. But that is in keeping with our strategy. The more people we can bring into our isolation facilities who have been identified as positive for COVID-19, the less the virus can spread, the flatter the curve will be, and the more capacity we'll be able to throw at this outbreak.
The state's Information and Communication Unit has been working round the clock to provide timely and vital updates around the pandemic to the populace. Strategic Welfare Package. To cushion the counterproductive effects of the lockdown and minimize hunger in the state, the governor started a strategic welfare and relief package which focuses on the most vulnerable in the society and those working in essential services. The old and the poorest in Lagos State were first supplied relief packages. He increased the hazard allowance of health workers in the state by 400%, making it unarguably the highest hazard allowance paid to health workers in Nigeria. He also made sure that the salaries of civil servants are paid early enough, and efforts are still on to reach other category of disadvantaged Lagosians under the lockdown. Private sector intervention. The governor's seriousness and commitment towards the fight against the pandemic became an instant stimulant for the private sector and philanthropists in the state to support the state government for more essential medical equipment and funds to effectively battle the deadly virus. So with more equipment and financial resources to throw at the pandemic, Sanwo Olu is going all guns blazing against coronavirus in Lagos State. Efficient health officials. With a competent and brilliant Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, and the highly dedicated Lagos health officials, Sanwo Olu has been able to provide remarkable direction and leadership in the face of the pandemic. This much was validated by the chairman of the editorial board of This Day newspaper, Mr. Segun Adeniyi, who quoted the late Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Malam Abba Kyari, confirming the unmatched preparedness, professionalism, and details provided by the Lagos State Health Commissioner in fighting the pandemic in Nigeria. According to Adeniyi, Kyari said it was a pleasure for him meeting and working with such a knowledgeable professional dedicated to public good like Sanwo Olu's Commissioner for Health. Of course, the pandemic is still far from over in Lagos and Nigeria as a whole. New cases are still being reported daily. However, some of Sanwo Olu's approaches have signaled the path to take to avoid an uncontrollable public health calamity. And more importantly, citizens should be more cooperative and observe all the preventive measures that governments at all levels put in place to manage and prevent the spread of the coronavirus in the country.